Okay, hello, hello. Let's go ahead and do our week 1 call with our Fit Tribe. So I want to start by just kind of going over expectations again. You guys have been like literally blowing my mind this week because it's been so fun to like see workouts and your guys' opinions on the workouts and the different food blogs and, kind of your thoughts on Shakeology or the products that you're using. So let's just kind of like recap because these expectations really help me best coach you because I don't really know what you're doing or how you're progressing if I can't actually see you and see what is happening in that day to day. So with food, I would love for you to track your food, however that might be. There is an awesome way on the app to do it. You can use the book, or if you're just like, I just want to type it out at the end of the night, that's kind of what I've been doing is like, while I'm nursing my little guy to bed, I'm just kind of typing it out and sending it to you guys. But if you can track your food and post that in the BOD app, that can really help me if you're feeling stuck with food. It really helps me to see those foods that you're eating so that I can give you feedback on just a couple of things that you could tweak or adjust. And then with fitness, this is the one thing I feel like people do the best at, and that is logging your workout under tracking in the BOD app and adding a photo or at least your thoughts on how that workout went if you forgot your photo. But when you add that photo or add your thoughts, it actually goes to the feed and I can see it. Otherwise, I just see like a little checkbox that like, yes, you did your workout, which is great. But when you share it to the group, that allows me to, one, give you some encouragement, see what you did, but also have other people use you as inspiration and motivation, because I'm sure there's times in this process that you're not going to want to. And hopefully you go there, you see the people who have checked in and you say, okay, if she can do it, I know I can do it too. And then Shakeology, again, you log it under tracking. Everything is under that tracking section in the BOD app, adding a photo or some thoughts. If you have other products, make sure you log it under there also, because that is the spot that I see. So I can see if you check in on your workouts and you check in on your Shakeology, which is why I have you posting the food actually just to the group, to the thing. There's no spot to kind of log that stuff and me be able to see it. So let's talk a little bit about tracking. And I will admit, this is the one thing that I fall off on the most. And then when I bring it back, it's where I see the most results. So let's talk about just a little bit of the why behind it. It really forces you to become a mindful eater. It really forces you to say, do I need this? Do I just want this? Am I hungry? Or is this just a habit? But also, if you're in weight loss mode, if you're like, even if you have 5 pounds to lose, which I think the last 5 pounds is literally the hardest, each day should be either losing or learning. So one thing I want us to kind of try to get rid of is any kind of guilt that is associated with food, any kind of, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have ate that, so I'm going to beat myself up, or, oh my gosh, I gained weight, so I'm going to beat myself up. And I want you to get curious. It is the number one thing that I have learned through using To Be Mindset. And that is just being curious whenever I jump up on the scale, or being curious if I lose on the scale. And so what I mean by that is if you're having a learning day, you have a little bit of weight gain, you're able to look back at that tracker, you're able to think about, okay, I had this and this and this, and see what isn't working for your goals. One thing that I like to do is going back and going to that day, and then maybe highlighting some things that I think might have caused it, that weight gain, and highlighting that and adjusting it the next day. Because if you're like me, like my breakfast is kind of set, my lunch is kind of set. So there's only a couple areas where, it kind of changes from day to day. And those areas are where I can learn and I can say, okay, maybe that didn't work for my body. Or, maybe I could have had a little less ice cream, but still had ice cream. And so it's just like, you can get curious, and I like to get a little playful with it. Sometimes I test the boundaries a little too much of what works and what doesn't work, but it's a fun way to kind of look back and say, this is working or this isn't working. The last thing I want is that this process is frustrating. I want it to be fun, and I want you to get curious each day. And the more detail you put into it, the more you're able to kind of really evaluate and see what's working for you. Some areas I want you to look at is your water. Okay. Number one thing, how much water did I drink yesterday? Was that enough? Do I need to up it? Did I feel like I was kind of snacky all day? I felt like I was hungry all day. If those are happening, you probably need to up your water and try to get that in. This morning I like drank one of these and I looked at Zach and I was like, 60 by 7 a.m. And it's like this little challenge. I just love like challenging myself throughout the day. I'm someone who like drinks a lot of water in the morning and then really slack in the rest of the day. So I kind of have to like really hit it hard early in the day. And then throughout the rest of the day, I'm like, okay, haven't had any in, 2 hours. I probably should drink some more water. But you get busy. So I get it. I get it that it happens. Try to keep this by you at all times. And then the next thing you can ask yourself is, did I follow plate it? Maybe I did for breakfast and lunch and dinner, was a little off. So today I'm going to really try to stick to that plate it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The third thing is snacks. Are you eating snacks because you're hungry? That's cool. If you are hungry and you're needing something in between your meals, go for it. Have something. Or is it just out of habit? I am in the thick of trying to break a after dinner, needing something sweet when I get the boys down for bed. It's like, whew, got 3 to sleep. They're all in their room. They're all quiet. I need to sit down and just chow down on like, my favorite is like peanut butter and banana. It's like a healthy option, but then it's like another scoop of peanut butter and another scoop of peanut butter. And so I'm really trying to like break that and say, am I hungry, or is this just a habit that I need to move on from? Okay. And then that goes along with, am I doing dinner and done? And that is one thing that I'm still working on. I'm also learning that I like to have something in my hand at the end of the day. So maybe I need to look into like some water enhancers. So I have something sweet in my water while I'm, relaxing at the end of the night. Or maybe I need to try out some fun flavored teas or something like that. So maybe I'm not physically eating something, but I still have something in my hand at the end of the night. If it truly is, I'm not hungry and it's just a habit. Okay, so let's jump into some weekend tips because we're getting ready to jump into our first weekend. And that is usually what I find the ladies in my Fit Tribe, they can do so good Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday afternoon. And then it's like Friday evening hits and it's like, woo, girls gone wild. Let's get crazy. So here's a couple of tips for you. It's not going to be perfect. You are not going to have a perfect weekend, whatever that even means. But I want you to try to make healthier choices this weekend than maybe you did last weekend. And then on weekend 2, bump that up again. Okay, so here's a couple of things. Water first. You will probably hear me say this over and over again, mostly because it's not cutting anything out. It's adding something to it. And it's something that we all should be doing every single day. So more water is usually less mindless snacking. It forces you to slow down. It forces you to think before you jump into eating that donut or whatever it is. If you're like, okay, I'm going to drink some water before I have that. And I'm going to really think about, do I want that? Do I need it? That type of stuff. Chance to evaluate, am I hungry or is this just a habit? So this weekend, I want you to stick to your water goals throughout the weekend. If there's one thing you do, make that be the one thing. Okay. One strategy I like also is bite to taste. So some ways that I use this when we go to Chick-fil-A, I love their my kids are obsessed with Chick-fil-A. So I usually try to order the Southwest salad, I think is what it's called. It is so good. There's so much flavor in it. They have all kinds of fun added stuff on top. But I try to order that first. So I'm not swayed by what my husband gets. I'm not swayed by, what the kiddos eat. But if I want a bite of, some waffle fries, maybe I'll have a couple waffle fries off of theirs, a bite or two to taste. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good. I didn't need a whole thing of them. I was super satisfied with the salad I got. I just wanted a little bite to taste. Okay. Another way is say you're out, you're out on a date night. Maybe you want to stick to plate it for your meal, but you want a bite to taste with dessert or a glass of wine, a sip to taste, a couple sips to taste. Let's be real. You're not going to get a glass of wine and not drink the whole glass. But, try to think of like, how can I still have this treat, but have it in a portion way? And bite to taste is a fun little like mindset switch of saying, I'm just going to have a couple bites and then I'm going to be done and I'm going to be satisfied. I got to taste it. I can move on. Okay. Or Dinteo is one also. I don't use this as much because I always think everything is an eating opportunity. So sometimes, especially on the weekends, you might be going from like a birthday party to something, a barbecue. And if it's like back to back and there's food at both events, maybe you don't need that eating opportunity. There's food there. I know it's like this crazy thought. There could be food there and you don't actually need it because you're not hungry. So we may not need every eating opportunity. Maybe you want to eat before you're leaving. If you're super focused and you're like, I really want to get super in and dedicated to this, you could have Shakeology before you leave so that you're not super hungry when you get there. So those are a couple of my tips, some things that I try to do. I usually try to stick to like one treat on the weekend. So maybe I'm going to stick to like a focused dinner if we're doing a date, but maybe I'll splurge on some ice cream. And so it's like, I try to do this balance of I'm going to stay here and follow the plan here, but I'm going to add in a treat. I try to use my treats as add-ons instead of like the main meal dish. But not always, sometimes I do splurge. Okay. So I want you to just ask yourself some questions as we wrap this up. And I'm going to ask these questions every single week. Always, I want you to go back to why am I here? Like, what am I wanting to accomplish? Is that important to me? And dig in each time. So you might have this like surface level of I want to lose 5 pounds, or I want to fit into a certain pair of jeans, or I want to, whatever it is, something might be a little surface level that you start out at, but then dig into like, why do you want that? So let's just say like jeans. I want to fit into a certain pair of jeans. Okay. Maybe the why for that is I want to, stop feeling like I'm squeezing into my jeans. Okay. Why? Well, maybe you want to be able to put clothes on and feel comfortable and confident and not have to go through every single pair to see, do these fit? Nope, they don't fit. Do these fit? Nope, they don't fit. You want to go into your closet and say everything fits and I feel great on everything. It's amazing how much less time I spend getting ready, putting clothes on now than I did 10 years ago, let's say, because I fit good and I feel good in most of my clothes. Being postpartum, I'm still in that journey, but it saves you time. I promise. Lean into the FitTribe and me. The more you're able to check in there and kind of let me know what's going on through that group, the more I'm able to help mentor you, but also reach out to me if you need to, and then trust the process. Trust the workout program that you're on, trust the food program that you're following. Even if you feel like you're going up and down, trust that process and lean into that and allow it to happen. So if you guys have questions, I am always available. I'm not always available, but I will get back to you within 24 hours. And I am here to whatever you need. If you need feedback, if you need a pep talk, if you need a kick in the pants, whatever it is, if you need accountability right now, Nicole and I are checking in on caffeine. Hers is more of like coffee, sweet coffees. Mine is like limiting the Energize that I drink in a day. So if you need that little extra layer of accountability, I am here for that. So if you guys have questions, definitely let me know. But otherwise, short and sweet little call, and I will turn off our recording.